Hi. It's been a hot moment since I taught any yoga, since we graduated in December. But I've been waking up in the middle of the night, thinking about this exact setup and how it's something that I think a lot of my friends here could use, to just help them get through life a little bit better. It's also been a hot moment since I did some yoga. I did a 10-day challenge and then at the end of January, and then I just stopped kind of practicing. Life has gotten really crazy. So I wanted to invite all of you friends. This is just meant for friends, so I hope you do not judge me in my inability to communicate properly. I tend to say a lot of we're gonna, and I'm hoping by practice I can kind of drop through that. So, but I'm Lindsay, and this is a quick, I'm hoping, 30-minute instruction. I should probably time myself here because Lee will be coming home in 30 minutes. This is the first time that I've gotten off work at 4:30 this week, which is when I should be getting off work. So I put it on my calendar. I'm here. Getting to your mat is like more than half the battle. I also found that 30 minutes is a good time to do a home practice, because if you're like me, you're sitting here with the bedroom door closed to like keep the dogs out, to keep the kids out. 30 minutes is a good time to kind of just like ground yourself and center. So I rolled out my mat. If you don't have a mat, you could use the carpet's great. Just take your socks off. You can put down a towel. Whatever you have, just kind of carve out some space. I'm sitting just on a pillow. It helps to raise my hips up just a little bit so that my knees can get a little lower than my hip points. You don't want to really be sitting with your knees like up here. Although, if that's where you're at today, then that's where you're at today. Don't judge yourself. So, I just wanted to kind of bring us on our mats. We're gonna get started. So, I'm taking my pillow out. Isn't that cute? Nice and colorful. We're gonna start with our do nothing pose, as Lee likes to call it. So, you're gonna lay down in Shavasana, fondly called corpse pose, which just means that you're laying here like you're dead. But you want to make sure your feet are kind of all the way down your mat and just lay back and just relax here for a minute. Get comfy, kind of make sure that you aren't sitting with like a huge arch in your back, but your shoulders kind of spread out. Just like relax, like let everything go that happened today. You made it to your mat. You're just going to take some self-care time. I'm hoping that you guys can hear me right now, because I also need to check some sound. So, you want your hands spread out and palms up. Palms up allows your body to kind of invite energy in. It frees these nadi points. Nadis are little areas in your body where the energy kind of circulates, and it just lets some good positive energy come in. Let all the negative energy that you have built up go out. And as you start to inhale and exhale, breathe that breath in through your nose and breathe it out through your nose. Try not to wiggle or move. You can get the shakes out, but just relax for a moment. Breathe in through your nose, exhale out your nose. Just try to slow down your breath and just relax. Let that be your only focal point as you're breathing. And if you need some extra tips to help focus on your breath, you can think about your belly rising as you inhale. And as you exhale, feel your back kind of sink in, your stomach collapse. yoga is all about uniting. Yoking means union. And here it's kind of relaxing or uniting your body and your breath together. So that you're one unit moving together as one. It's also nice in yoga that we're all going to do this practice together. So you in your house, wherever you are doing this while I'm here in my house, but we're doing it together in a union, kind of like our friendships. You might be able to hear your breath kind of make a sound as you exhale. If you're finding it hard to steady your breath, you might want to take a nice inhale and then exhale at your mouth and just kind of let it go. Call that a dragon breath at our house. And as you lay here in Shavasana, I want you to start to waken up your body again. So keep your eyes closed, but maybe start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Drop one ear down. Go back to the other side and let the other ear go closer to the ground. Stretch out your neck. Do that a few times. And then when you're ready, I want you to slowly bring your legs together and hug your knees. Give them a nice hug. You can just have your hands resting on the front of your shins, or if you want to, you can actually hug your knees in. If you want to bring your head up a little bit, makes it a little bit easier. Take a breath here. And then if it so moves you, you can bring a little motion to this. You can rock back and forth. Kind of helps massage your spine, your lower spine. If you've been sitting all day the way I have, this feels really good. I could spend 30 minutes just doing this. And let your back wake it up. You notice that it doesn't need to be a big movement. It can just be a little one. And then I didn't quite think about positioning myself with enough room for this, but I want you to bring your arms out into a T. I'm gonna hit a wall. Hopefully you plan better than me. But I'm gonna, you know what I can do instead? You can do cactus arms, which is kind of splitting your arms out, bent at the elbows. And I want you to slowly drop your knees, they're together. Drop your knees over to the right. And then as you do this, look to your left, as much as it feels comfortable. Your knees may be up here, but your body should relax and just kind of feel the twist that this opens up into your left side. You can kind of feel the side body open. And gaze over to your left. Kind of, if your arm is out to a T, to your fingers. If it feels more comfortable, you can keep your gaze out to the ceiling. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, bring your one knee up and your other one will follow naturally. Let's straighten back out. Hug your knees in close to your chest. I like to warm up my ankles a little bit. Feels like a natural movement to kind of get the blood flowing. And then when you're ready, bring your arms back out into that T or cactus arms if you're in limited space, and drop your knees over to the left. Your knees can be up high like this, or maybe they're down lower. Whichever it is, your body is getting the twist, so it does not matter. It's whatever feels comfortable to you. You may be down here today. When I do this, I feel a slight pulling in my back. It's easier for me to do it up here. So test it out and see where you feel comfortable. Bring your gaze over to the right. Remember to inhale and exhale through your nose. And whenever possible, I recommend you close your eyes and just follow my voice. Helps you go internal versus wondering what the hell you look like in your living room or your bedroom. Next inhale, bring your knees back up. Right one comes, left one follows. Give your knees a little hug. Rock back and forth, find that center. Now we're gonna transition onto our hands and knees, and there's a couple ways you can do this. So you can roll over to one side and push up. I find it a lot easier and helpful to kind of grab the back of my legs and rock back and forth. It feels really good until you have enough momentum that you just kind of naturally come up. You don't want to spray forward, but kind of come up here and then over to your hands and knees. So from hands and knees, this is a nice, comfortable, basic yoga posture. You want your hands to be underneath your shoulders, which to me, if I'm looking in a mirror kind of next to me, sometimes I notice that my hands are a little bit further out from my shoulders. You want to bring them back maybe in space just a little bit and spread your fingers nice and wide. You want your wrists and to your shoulders to be a nice straight line. This is a really strong pose. You'll find strength here. And then for your knees, you want them to be underneath your hips. So not that you're leaning forward, you want them right underneath your hips. And then you want to look back and you want to make sure you can't see your feet. So that means that your legs are aligned. Usually if I peek back, my legs might be kind of tilted in, and you sort of want them in kind of parallel lines. So this is our tabletop position on hands and knees. So from here, we're gonna do some nice cat-cow breathing. So I wanna make sure I get this right. As you inhale, you're going to bring your body in. Exhale, you're gonna stretch your back out like a cat. So let's start that again. So if you're at a neutral spine here, you're gonna inhale through your nose, and you're gonna curl your spine, push your hands away, and your hands kind of seem like they're opening up pickle jars. Like you're moving your hands like this, but they're not quite moving. Yoga is all about the mentality. So imagine your hands opening up pickle jars as you inhale, curl your spine up, and then as you exhale, kind of go into cow. So your navel drops, your sits bones, your butt bone kind of sticks up, and you bring your gaze kind of forward. So inhale, exhale. If we were doing kids yoga, I would say cat, meow. And then cow, I can go moo. You know, all about that life here. So I want you to do this for a few more rounds, to just do it at the pace of your breath. This helps you kind of slow down, moving your body with your breath. It's what yoga is all about. That lesson helps me when I'm at work and I'm frustrated or something's happening and I'm confused. I tend to see that I am holding my breath, or I am breathing really quickly. So when I think about how I can control my body and my thoughts with my breath, that's the exercise that I'm taking off the mat with me in yoga. Couple more rounds. Oh my God, I've been saying it the wrong way. I knew this was going to happen. No, as you exhale, you're supposed to do your cat. As you inhale, you do your cow. Oh well, you know, that's my first yoga teaching video, so don't judge me. I hope you're doing what feels natural in your body, and hopefully it already figured that out. But as you exhale, you know, your belly can move more closer towards your spine because you're exhaling all of that air, but as you inhale, you're dropping your belly because it's filling full of air. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing. Okay, so enough with cat-cow. That's a great exercise. If your knees are feeling kind of funky, you can put a blanket or something underneath them. That sometimes helps. Usually when I'm in a yoga studio, I have a blanket underneath my knees, so nothing wrong with that. We're all getting a little older. The next thing that we're gonna go into is called it's either a bird dog or a sunbird or whatever it is. Essentially, it's a nice balancing challenge. So I want you to lift up your back leg. So you kind of want to imagine that it's a straight line. It's not up in the air, it's not down. Bring it up as high as you can so that it's parallel with your body. And you want to flex your foot. So you're not pointing, but you're flexing. Your foot is there. And you want to try to keep as much weight, the balancing part is coming in. You want to steady your weight between your right hand and your left knee, because what you're going to do next, if possible, is you're going to extend out your left arm. Now you want to make sure your shoulder isn't caving in, that you're holding your chest up, it's strong, you feel kind of the energy. It helps if you twinkle your fingers a little bit. You can feel the energy shoot out your fingers from your toes, and you can feel this kind of tugging and balance. You don't want to fall over, but if you fall over, just get back up and try again. It's easiest if you lift your foot and then your hand next. Inhale and exhale through your nose. One more breath. Next exhale, bring your hand down, bring your foot down, and then from here, I want you to bring your right foot forward so that you're kind of in this 90-90 lunge. And I want you to make sure you're balanced a little bit. Make sure if your knee is getting hurt, you can always extend and lift off your knee. This takes a little bit more upper strength, but for now we're gonna stay down here, 90-90. And then when you're ready for that and you feel balanced, you're gonna lift up your arms and kind of feel the upper body strength that you have. You're feeling your muscles working, you're maybe gonna fall over a little bit. It's all about balance. You can bring your gaze forward if it's easier. It's even more helpful if you can look up. You can lean back just slightly. Keep breathing. On your next exhale, I want you to bring your left hand down and the right hand up, and we're just going to twist a little bit. Make sure your shoulder is not coming close to your ear, it's staying away. Once again, if you feel that this is too crowded for you, you're welcome to lift up your back leg. It's a nice twist. Next exhale, you're gonna make sure you keep your hand down. Bring your hand down and bring your knee back. Realign to neutral spine on your hands and knees. And then from here, we're gonna do the other side. So you're going to extend back your left leg. Make sure your foot is engaged. And then you're going to, when you're ready, extend your right hand forward. Once again, making sure that you are feeling that energy kind of shooting through your body. Send it out there. You are strong. You are capable of doing this. It's okay if you're shaking a little bit or if you're falling over because your balance is off a little bit. This is a nice challenging pose. Remember to inhale and exhale through your nose. If you're feeling the heat build up, it's a good time for a nice dragon breath. So inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth, go. Great. Bring your hand down. We're gonna bring that left knee forward, kind of place it in between your hands, but closer definitely to your left hand there. And then as you're feeling stable, you might need to bring your knee forward. You're kind of looking for that 90-90. Bring yourself up. And then when you're ready, you can lift your hands. It's a nice lunge. I imagine kind of like a invisible string going straight through my spine and holding it up. Makes you almost feel a little bit like weightless. Unless you're falling off your balance, and then you're not. And then on your next exhale, you're gonna bring your right hand down. Imagine placing it where you'd place your left hand if you were in hands and knees. And then I'm gonna twist this way, and I'm sorry if you can't hear me because I'm speaking to the other side, but make sure you maintain the strength in your body. And if you want to, I challenge you to lift up that right knee and extend. Inhale and exhale through your nose. One more breath. And as you exhale, bring your left hand down, knee down, left knee back. Let's do some cat-cows to just kind of clear that out. So as you exhale, bring your belly up. Inhale, bring your belly down. My hair is not participating today. Once you're done with some clearing cat-cows, I want you to curl your toes under, and we're gonna go into our first down dog. You're gonna bring your hips up, and because this is our first down dog, I want you to kind of keep your knees bent. They do not need to be straight. Your legs do not need to be straight. Make sure, this is my first down dog in a few weeks, so you want to keep your knees nice and bent. You can walk your dog, which is kind of the walking motion of putting your knees down, or your heel down. You want to keep that pickle jar kind of feeling in your hands. And just kind of explore. Look underneath your armpits. Stretch out what you need. I like to kind of rock on the tips of my toes. Here, crack a little bit. And then when you're ready, we're going to take really, really tiny steps. Keep your knees bent. We're going to walk to the top of our mats. And then stay folded over. And then on your next inhale, you're going to come up halfway. You can bring your hands to the front of your shins. Inhale, and then exhale, fold back over. And then as you inhale, you're going to rise up. So I like to bend your knees deeply and bring your back up. Hands up, and back to heart center. Easy, right? So we're going to practice mountain, which is basically a standing pose, but you should kind of find your core strength. You can imagine that you're nice and strong. You want to stand with your shoulders up and back. Your shoulders are very down, far away from your ears. Your hands are facing in. Your tailbone, your spine is nice and long. Your quadriceps are engaged, so you're you feel them kind of turning in, and your feet are nicely planted on the ground. Maybe you need to kind of feel all of your entire foot, the ball mount of your feet to the heel, both sides, it's all firmly planted in the ground. And take a deep breath here. And if you can, close your eyes. I highly recommend it. This is your mountain pose. You are strong, you are calm, and you're capable of taking on whatever else is coming your way. So then from our mountain, once you feel strong and capable and recentered, you're gonna bring your hands up. And then we're gonna fold over. So bend your knees, bend at your hips. and fold over. You can go as slow as you need to. Bring your hands down. Your hands might not touch the floor. Wherever your hands land, let them land and kind of let them wiggle up. Whether you keep your arms together like this and ragdoll it, just like hang for a moment here. Keep your knees bent as you need to. You don't have to force yourself to straighten your legs just because you think you should. Your knees can be bent. Another nice thing I like to do is to kind of take my arms and wrap them behind the back of my knees. So my knees have to be pretty bent for this. And to just fold a little deeper. And then you're going to release. Let go wherever you are. On your next inhale, slide your hands up your shins, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Then inhale, rise back up. Bring your hands back to your heart center. We're going to do that one more time. So inhale, rise, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, bend at your hips. Inhale, bring your hands halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Back to heart center. We're gonna do one more pose and then we're gonna get on the floor. So I'm gonna have you bring your hands up. We're gonna go into a chair pose. So this is a nice, it's a heart opener. You're supposed to have your chest open, but you're gonna bend your knees and you're gonna pretend like you're sitting back in a chair that somebody's trying to pull away from you. So the trick to this is, yeah, you can bend your knees a lot. You don't wanna bend your knees any further than your feet. So you should always be able to look down and see your big toe. Maybe that means that, that your knees are only bent slightly, and that's perfectly fine. You can find a perfectly challenging and engaging pose doing just that. You wanna make sure that your quadriceps are curling in, but that your knees don't touch. That's cheating. And as my one yoga teacher, Kristen, says, if you want to be a cheater, you can be a cheater, and that's fine. So you want to keep your arms extended. You want to bend your knees as if you're sitting back. And then you want to engage your core. So imagine a nice, strong spine. Your belly button is tucking in towards your spine, and that your gaze is up or forward. You don't want to curl your back. You want it to be a nice straight line. So this is a pretty challenging pose for me, and it's something that I feel like I'm getting better at doing, but let's take an inhale here. And now I want you to transition to the floor. So you're going to take an inhale, and then as you exhale, take a seat. Go deeper, 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 until you're on the floor. And from here, we're gonna do a little boat balance. This also takes a lot of center core strength, so you can do this in a lot of different ways. So the first part that you need is to hold on to your legs. So I recommend you hold on kind of at the back of your knees, and you're gonna rock back until you're sort of on your sits bones. That's kind of like right at your butt crack. Maybe not, I have a huge high butt crack, but so you want to be able to balance back. You can keep your feet down. And so here are the different levels that you can do. So you can hold on and maybe make sure your shoulders are back, you know, roll them back. You want to maybe extend one foot at a time. This is nice. You want to make sure you have that core engaged, so your belly isn't kind of like it's fluffing out, but it's nice and tight. You can do both legs at one time, and maybe you find it that you just want to balance for a moment. Or you can lift up one leg and lift up the other one, and maybe you You can extend your arms out. You're always welcome to try it, and then if you need to, you can hold back on. When you do this, you'll find that other muscles fire. So I can feel this in the back of my legs. I can feel this in my core. And you know, the shakes are all good. If you want to go even further, which is not something I'm capable of doing, you can extend your legs out. But I recommend you sort of just try what you want to do today. Take another inhale and exhale here. Bring your legs down. Give them a hug. So from here, we're going to roll onto our backs, and we're going to get into close to our end here at Shavasana. We're at about, we're almost to 30 minutes, but we're going to take our time in this. So roll down slowly, don't go too crazy. Oh, after doing both, this feels so good. Rock on your back just a little bit, massage it, wave those feet around. I highly recommend that you do a happy baby, which is kind of grabbing your pant legs. Maybe it's your pants, maybe it's your heels. Ideally, it's the outstep of your foot, and kind of pulling your knees down into your armpits, and just kind of feeling how a change in pressure relaxes your body. I like to rock my baby like this. You might find more solitude and stillness, whatever floats your boat. After doing those lunges, sometimes it feels good to sort of stretch out your foot. You can hold on to it, you cannot hold on to it, whatever you want to do. Just stretch here one last time before our final resting pose. And relax. When you're ready, I want you to stretch out your legs the length of your mat. Stay laying down. So stretch out your legs the length of your mat. Readjust your pants. Hold on your shirt. Whatever you need. If there's anything else calling to you before you get here, I recommend you do it. If you want to stretch out your arms, give yourself a bigger hug. Just relax. You want your feet to kind of be splayed out, however they fall. Make sure your hands are out to your sides so they're relaxed. Your fingers kind of fold in towards you. It's time to bring your breath back to where we started. So inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And our Shavasana, our corpse pose, our final resting pose. After a day like today, I needed this time on my mat. I needed just a moment to focus on me, on my self-care, and know that I'm worthy of it. This 30 minutes you just spent doing some yoga with me was worth doing. It's not something you should feel guilty about taking the time to do. It's only 30 minutes. Just let your breath go naturally. Don't even think about it anymore. Just relax. back to your breath. Feel it. Inhale and fill your belly with fresh air. And as you exhale, let everything leave your body that does not serve you. Let it go. You don't need it. And as your breath fills your body again, feel it flow from your belly down to your legs, past your knees, all the way to your foot, and into every toe. And let your toes wiggle a little bit, coming back to life. And then again, as you inhale, breathe in that fresh energy and feel it coursing through your arms, from your chest, through your arms, past your elbows, flowing through your wrists and out to each of your fingertips. And as you do that, brush your thumb against each of your fingertips. Feel your body come back to life. As you take your next exhale, I invite you to roll over to whichever side feels good, bringing one arm up above, roll over to the side. One of my yoga teachers often says to put your hand on the ground to thank it for being there to keep you grounded. Rest here for a moment. Thank yourself for coming to the mat, or to the carpet, or to the towel, whatever you're practicing on today. When you're ready, push yourself up to a seated spot. Crisscross applesauce, however you feel comfortable sitting. Rest your hands on your knees and take a deep breath in and sit up nice and straight. Roll your shoulders up and down. And I want you to bring your hands to your heart center in prayer. And I want you to thank yourself for doing this, for spending time doing this. Time is the most valuable commodity that we have. And it's worth acknowledging. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you, friends, for doing this with me, for hopefully laughing with me a little bit, and just spending some time on the mat today. If not even one of you guys watches this video, I'm totally fine with it, because it just felt good to be here and to do this practice for me, but also to provide it in a way that I can share it with you. My teacher training always said you would get to a part where you'd want to share it with somebody. Because I went on my teacher training journey just for me to learn a little bit more. And I feel like I'm at the part where I want to share it with people. So if you like the video, reply in an email, let me know. If you think there's stuff I have to work on. Constructive criticism is always appreciated. But if you're going to give me constructive criticism, I've had a really rough week and I could use some compliments. So I appreciate all of you. Have a good night.